Hi Christine, how do you like your job as President Obama's economic advisor?
I love it, Murray. President Bush left us a mess, but we are confident we can fix it.
I agree that the Republicans spent and regulated us to death, but Obama is doubling down on Bush's worst policies. It's a slow-motion train wreck.
Everybody knows that the government has to massively spend in a crisis to keep the economy strong.
Christine, did you get your economics degree in a box of Cracker Jacks? The totally discredited economist John Maynard Keynes created that nonsense. It's failed everywhere it has been tried. In the short run, massive government spending boosts an economy, so people are tricked into mistaking current good times for a sound economy. The problem is either the debt piles up, or the government excessively prints money to pay the bills. Either way, it's unsustainable and the economy ultimately collapses.
How do you know?
History: 1780s France, 1920s Germany, 1970s Argentina, and Zimbabwe this decade are just a few examples. In each case, the government printed too much money to cover excessive obligations, including wars and massive social programs. Each time, previously prosperous economies ended in economic ruin, often leading to horrible wars. Christine, can you name a single Keynesian economy that was successful long-term?
FDR and his New Deal.
Wrong, the New Deal was a colossal bust. Unemployment never reached single digits and the debt piled up. Even FDR's own Treasury Secretary, Henry Morgenthau, admitted this 7 years into it.
During the 1929 stock market crash, President Hoover, a free market Republican, did nothing and the economy descended deeper into depression.
History proves otherwise. Hoover massively intervened in the economy, but before he did, the free market was fixing it. Unemployment had dropped from above 9% to 6%. Then Hoover passed massive tariffs, the world retaliated with massive tariffs of their own, and international trade shut down. The best companies, that competed well in world markets, were punished the most. The economy worsened, and a wave of bank failures hit. Unemployment skyrocketed into the mid-teens for the entire 1930s.
There have got to be Keynesian successes.
There aren't, but the opposite approach always succeeds.
How do you know?
More history. In the 1873 panic, corrupt banks that financed government-sponsored railroads collapsed. With no government bailouts, artificially inflated real estate prices quickly plummeted, and other sounder banks quickly emerged. Decades of the lowest unemployment and fastest real economic growth the country ever saw was the result. In 1920, a massive post-World War I depression worse than 1929 hit. President Harding slashed government spending 50%, lowered taxes, and cut government debt by a third in 4 years. The depression was so short that historians practically forgot about it. The Roaring Twenties followed. After World War II, President Truman slashed government spending by 2/3. Keynesians said the economy would collapse, but instead we got years of tremendous prosperity. Keynesians are always wrong.
The economic meltdown was Bush's fault. Obama is so wise and kind. He would never hurt us. I love Obama.
Democrats, Republicans, there's plenty of blame to go around. Government created all the bad circumstances that led to the current economic mess. The Federal Reserve artificially lowered interest rates by purchasing T-bills. This lowered mortgage payments, so people paid more for homes. As homes became more unaffordable, the government forced lenders to make loans to people that couldn't repay. The government guaranteed lenders that they wouldn't lose money on mortgages, so they couldn't care less if they made dumb loans. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae got an implied guarantee. Bank depositors got actual federal insurance. It was a perfect storm.
Everybody knows that greedy predatory lenders took advantage of ordinary people who wanted to own homes.
Newsflash. That's the story of the government and its shills. Think about it. Government never says I'm sorry. I meant to help, but I really screwed up. Government always scapegoats others.
Recessions hurt people. The government has to help them. It's humane.
The problem is the bubble, because people are fooled into misappropriating assets. As painful as they are, the recession is the solution, because they cleanse the mistakes. Wishing recessions away won't make them go away.
But people are hurting. Government has to help.
The 9 scariest words in the English language are "I'm from the government" and "I'm here to help." Economies flourish when the best producers are producing. This is because prices drop, quality improves, and quantity grows, so society benefits. Free markets are the most productive because countless people spending their own money are voluntarily choosing the best products. Even with the best of intentions, government is inefficient because decisions are political and not economic. Economies are way too complex for even the smartest people in a massive government bureaucracy to manage. With free markets, successes quickly grow, and failures quickly disappear. Improvement is continuous. With government, failures never disappear, they just get more money.
My head hurts. Obama is so wise and smart. He'll save us. I love Obama. He's yummy.
I envy you, Christine, living in a fantasy world where magic fairies grant your every wish. By the way, what college did you go to?
UC Berkeley.
That explains it. You have to be very bright and pay a lot of money to get an education that bad. Did UC Berkeley ever teach you about Ludwig von Mises or Murray Rothbard and their Austrian School of Economics?
No.
I'm not surprised. The Austrians have identified every bubble and predicted every recession because they recognize what they're looking at and what the consequences will be. Keynesians have never forecasted anything correctly. A famous Austrian, Peter Schiff, predicted the current economic meltdown years before it happened. He was publicly laughed at during the bubble, but he bravely stood his ground.
I'm so confused. If you're right, then my career has been a sham. This is terrible.
Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Check out the Austrian Economics website, www.mises.org. There are lots of articles, books, and recordings. They're all free, so even a UC Berkeley grad with mountains of student loans can afford them. Remember, just because somebody says something is so, doesn't make it so. Christine, I've got a joke for you. If a tail is called a leg, how many legs does a dog have?
5.
No, 4. Calling a tail a leg doesn't make it a leg. Happy trails, Christine. May the force be with you.